We've got a relatively small crowd on tap for this one today. A lot of people probably at the beach enjoying this weather. Jay Randolph along with Reggie Rucker. And down on the field, the toss of the coin coming. Referee Fred Silva. And it's going to be the San Diego Chargers to receive. Speaking of the Chargers, Reggie, they have a former Pittsburgh Steeler, Mark Malone, who'll go at quarterback today.
And Mark Malone says that this is just another game, but I don't believe that. You can't tell me that Mark Malone doesn't want to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers more than anything else this season.
The Steelers coming off the big victory last Sunday in the Dome against Houston. And Bubby Brister will get the call at quarterback today, and he is seemingly solidifying the situation on offense.
The Steelers are building for tomorrow, and this is a piece of the puzzle already in place. Bubby Brister, he has all of the qualities that they've been looking for ever since Terry Bradshaw left this organization.
Brister last week, 17 of 36, racking up 311 yards. Brister out of Northeast Louisiana. A very up-tempo chap, and he doesn't mind telling the folks across the line from him that he's coming.
Yeah, but I've got one problem with that. Leave those defensive people alone. Bubby Brister doesn't need to get involved with that.
This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Anderson kicking off for the Steelers, and into the end zone. It is fielded back there by Jamie Holland and down, and we'll start at the 20-yard line for the San Diego Chargers. Both these clubs 4-10. The Chargers with Mark Malone at quarterback, Anthony Jones and Gary Anderson. Miller, the rookie, he's a real burner. Jamie Holland and Arthur Cox. It's Dallafor, Thompson, Rosado, McKnight, and Richards, the rookie, in the offensive line. First down from the 20. In motion, that's Anderson coming to the near sideline, and the give up the middle. Barry Redden, number 20, who is starting in there at the H-back position. Nickerson coming up with the stop along with Aaron Jones. It's Jones, Williams, and Johnson in the defensive line. One of the Steelers is down. Jordan Little, Nickerson, and Hinton. Jordan, the rookie. And in the secondary, Woodruff, Woodson, Gowdy, and Griffin. And Aaron Jones, the rookie for Pittsburgh out of Eastern Kentucky, getting his 5th start today. He had some starts at linebacker. This fellow's played very, very well. And it appears to be a knee injury as they're attending to him. Aaron Jones going down for the Steelers.
Right side of the screen, you'll see number 97, Aaron Jones. You really see where he got it, but he's grabbing his knee. Number 1 draft choice for the Steelers this year. Has played a lot of different positions. Defensive end, linebacker, very talented young fella. Needs to bulk up, get a little stronger during the offseason.
We're going to take a timeout with this injury situation. We'll be back right after these messages. Back here at Jack Murphy Stadium, Jay Randolph along with Reggie Rucker. Aaron Jones has helped off the field, and he's been replaced by Keith Gary. There is Chuck Noll. Noll, 56 years old, his 20th season as the Steeler head coach. Well, they may miss Aaron Jones in there. He's done a good job, and they've expected some continued pressure from the pass rushing of Aaron Jones. We'll try to get a report on the extent of that injury. Second down and 8. Malone throws. The catch is made. Gary Anderson taking it in, and he's at the 26-yard line where David Little, number 50, made the tackle.
You take a look at the Chargers offensive line. They have 4 free agents up front. Good blocking right there on Gerald Williams by Dan Rosado.
Third down and 4. The Steelers go into their nickel defense. Barry Redden, number 20. Darren Flutie, 89, in the lineup right now, along with Quinn Early, 87, and Miller, 83. Malone And the ball tipped and incomplete. Fine play was made by Woodson, number 26. Woodson, who may very well be voted the MVP for Pittsburgh when they vote next Tuesday. What a fine year he's had out of Purdue.
He certainly does a lot of things for the Steelers. There again is the high jumping Rod Woodson. Of course, he was a world-class hurdler, so he really knows how to get up in the air.
Two good punters in this game today. Moshenko getting this one off. It comes down low, taken by Woodson, 35, and he gets near the 40-yard line. A 43-yard punt, a 9-yard return. And for the Chargers, Gary Plummer making the play. The Steelers on offense will have Bubby Brister going at the quarterback spot. Hodge, Warren Williams, the rookie. Lockett, what a year Lips is having. Preston Gothard is the tight end. Up front, 219th regular season game for Webster. Wolfley and Blankenship, Dawson and Ilkin. First down, the ball near the 40-yard line. No score, opening moments. Banging his way forward is Williams across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Williams carrying it. Looked like Plummer making the play. Williams, Charles, Phillips, and O'Neill in the defensive line. Browner, Cedric Figueroa, the rookie. Gary Plummer, the other outside backer. Gilbert, Sam Seal, Pat Miller, and Vincey Glenn in the secondary. Lips set out on the wing right. Second down and 8. The handoff going to Williams. Sweeping it outside, and he is near a first down. Good effort on the play. He got that ball down across the 50. Gil Bird knocked him out of. Got an end zone view.
The Steelers' offensive backfield production has been better ever since the combination of Hodge and number 42 Warren Williams have combined. They have been getting some production. These are two pretty good backs. They do a lot of things well.
Going off there is Aaron Jones. They're going to take him for some x-rays. Banging up the middle, Warren Williams. Williams getting near the 46-yard line. Tackle made by Cedric Figueroa, the middle linebacker, and Mike Charles, number 71, the left tackle. That punt a moment ago for Moshenko, the 79th of the year. Tied a record by our colleague Paul McGuire. Paul, who played at the Citadel and, of course, came here in his early days when Al Davis was still involved in pro football in this town. Second down and 6. And rolling to the near side comes Brister. Looking, running at the 40, 35, slides in for the first down. 11-yard pickup by Brister. Gary Plummer, number 50, making the stop. And a good-looking opening drive for the Steelers.
Yeah, that was a very confident move by Bubby Brister, and I think he's gotten a lot of confidence after that drive last week that he engineered for 80 yards in the waning moments of the game, which they won over the Houston Oilers. Now, you can see Brister has really no idea right here that he's going to throw the football. That's a fake, and he wants to run that ball all the way. He picks up the first down easily.
Walter Andrew, Bubby Brister III at the controls. And the handoff going to Hodge, and he can't get anything. Fine play made by Keith Browner, number 57. Browner, the outside linebacker, used to be at Cincinnati. Played at USC, a free agent, signed on here.
Member of the famous football-playing Browner clan. This Keith Browner is 6'6", 260-some pounds. So he's a big, strong fella. He's tough to get around the outside because he's tough to block. He's very strong in his hands.
He's a package, isn't he? 10 minutes left to play. We're in the first quarter, no score. Lockett and Lips both set out to the top of your screen. Brister, straight back drop, pressure, and down he goes. Joe Phillips, number 75, on the sack. 96 tackles coming into today's game. Tops for the Chargers.
Well, the Chargers are a very good pass rushing team headed by Lee Williams and Leslie O'Neal. Those guys, Joe Phillips, and he does a good job pressuring the quarterback straight ahead. That's the toughest place for a quarterback to deal with pressure when it comes straight at him.
The loss is back to the 47. Third down and 22 for Brister and the Steelers. Brister steps up, throws complete to Rodney Carter. Carter short of the first down, hit along the 31-yard line by Gil Byrd.
Well, you wonder now if Chuck Noll won't attempt the field goal. It would be about 55 yards. Here's another look. Rodney Carter is a pass-catching specialist coming across to the left of your screen. He's just trying to get Anderson in pretty good field goal position, and Noll is going to punt the football.
Yeah, he doesn't feel Anderson can get it home from there. His longest of his career, a 55-yarder. This is Harry Newsome. Newsome hangs a beauty high, and it comes down just in the end zone. We mentioned we've got the top two punters in the league here today. We'll be back with more right after this. It's a great day to play football here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Jay Randolph with Reggie Rucker. And, you know, we talked about Webster and his great career. The Steelers with the football out there now. Webster's the cover boy today on game day here in San Diego, and it's the first time he's ever been on the cover of game day. He deserves it.
That's a special honor for offensive linemen because they never get the recognition they deserve, and certainly this is a gentleman who is headed for Pro Football Hall of Fame.
It's nice of an old wide receiver like you to mention that. All right, the Chargers set to take the football after the punt that went into the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff going to Gary Anderson, and a fumble. He got it back. Anderson coming up with it. Gary Nickerson, 54. Watch him here.
Watch number 40, Gary Anderson, slightly built at 6 feet, 182 pounds, runs right into Hardy Nickerson there. Nickerson, number 54, doing an outstanding job, really coming on strong in that linebacking core for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
8:14 to go. First quarter, no score. Second down, 10. Malone may have audibled here. Trouble, another fumble, and the Steelers say they have it. Wait till no, they don't. Number 78, Tim Johnson, was down there on it.
Looked like Dallafor was able to get it. Now coming out of center, it appears that Malone never does have this football. Sometimes you might hit the knee or the guard or the center might step back on you, but I don't think anything happened just then. Let's take another look at it. He just doesn't get this football. Fortunately, number 61, Ken Dallafor, right there, gets on the football. Well, that's big trouble for San Diego.
3rd down and 9. 89 in motion is Flutie. Malone's got time, throws up the middle, overthrows the intended receiver, Jamie Holland, number 81. The pass too tall for Holland at the 40-yard line. Woodruff had the coverage.
And when you look at
here's the punt. And up to the 48-yard line with it. Lewis slips. We'll be back in a moment. A sky-high view of San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. Not a cloud in the sky. As we have no score, 7:10 to go, first quarter. Steelers 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Hodge and Williams, the running backs, behind Brister. This is Williams inside the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. Cedric Figueroa, number 51, making the tackle. Well, a big day for Houston down in the Dome, and that's making it interesting over there. Chicago just getting by Detroit. Green Bay with a big win over Minnesota. And early on, New Orleans leading San Francisco. Here we have no score. 2nd down and 3 at the 44. Might have been a busted play. Brister's in trouble, and he goes down. Well, I think he might have thought about getting rid of it and then was
Well, he had the presence of mind not to throw the ball, Jay, because
right.
that would have been a penalty. But I think here is an instance where he's relying too much on his ability. And in the National Football League, you'll find that those defensive ends can outrun quarterbacks. He should have taken the football when he had nothing there, just dropped to the ground.
Well, it was obviously a busted play for him. Browner and Wilson putting the pressure on.
And this is a tough situation for Pittsburgh because now you have to contend with Leslie O'Neal, number 91, and Lee Williams, number 99. Williams, the top sacking defensive end in the league.
Rodney Carter, 24, is in there. He's going to go long downfield. Lips and incomplete as he tried to deliver it to him at the 12-yard line. Roy Bennett had the coverage back there.
Just outstanding coverage by the corner. Roy Bennett, number 23. Louis Lips, who's been burning secondaries recently. Last week he had an 85-yard for a touchdown, a 60-yard for a touchdown. It's just a speed pattern right here. Roy Bennett, incredible coverage. He's looking back for the football. And that ball does hit the hands of Louis Lips, but I think he was out of bounds.
Harry Newsom to do the punting. Lionel Little Train James takes it in at the 7. And the train is trying to find some running room. He got it back out to the 16-yard line, a 51-yard punt. We have 5 minutes, 37 seconds left to play. No score here in San Diego. Pittsburgh fans will remember him. So will a lot of backs around the National Football League, and a former wide receiver from Cleveland, Mean Joe.
I remember running a reverse against Pittsburgh one year, and I looked up, and the guy that tackled me was Joe Green. And I looked and I said, "What are you doing downfield?" But that was his legacy. He would pursue you all over the field.
Nice man.
Yes, he is.
Chargers have been able to pick up only 2 yards rushing so far in this first quarter. Anderson is the single setback. Coming in motion, Quinn Early. Malone's got a lot of time out to Anderson. Anderson breaking out to the 23-yard line. Stop made by Nickerson, number 54. Mark Malone coming in today with a 52.1% passing percentage.
In my mind, I think they overuse Gary Anderson. As you take a look at Al Saunders, you know he was born in London, England. Became a naturalized citizen at the age of 13.
That's his son behind him right there, who handles the cords for the headsets for him. 2nd down and 2. Anderson doesn't get it. Hit right along the 25-yard line. Again, Hardy Nickerson making a fine play.
Continuing on with Gary Anderson. Anderson is just an all-purpose halfback, but the problem is he's about 182 pounds, and I think when I say they overuse him, they expose him to the defense too much. Al Saunders, in a conversation we had with him yesterday, Jay said, we'd really like to feature a big running back and be able to use Gary Anderson in certain roles and situation substitutions. He would be more effective that way.
And now it's 3rd down and 1. Sends Spencer in motion, and the handoff to Redden. Redden getting to about the 25-yard line. Very, very close. He got the first down. David Little, Nickerson, along with Larry Griffin were all there to make the stop. We've got a ISO of the big guy from California, Nickerson, his 2nd year.
Watch him pursue. You see him watching his keys, looking for the hole the runner will pick. And once he makes that decision, he gets into that hole, gets his shoulder square, and he doesn't allow the runner to get any unnecessary yardage.
1st down at the 26-yard line. 3.5 to play. First quarter. We're scoreless. Malone giving it to Anderson. He almost broke it for a score. He gets it to the 44-yard line. It was Dwayne Woodruff who got him from behind, a 19-yard pickup.
One of the keys to this run by Anderson was the block by number 20, Barry Redden. But watch the flash coming right through the middle. Number 40, Gary Anderson. He's such a dangerous player. Here's another look at it. You'll see number 20, Barry Redden, go in there and double team. That keeps the nose tackle from getting any help on the play.
Good block by Rosado, number 66, the center. 2:45 to go in this first quarter. First down at the 44. Malone straight back, has lots of time, throws complete to Anderson. Short of the first down, but into Pittsburgh territory at the 48-yard line. A pickup of 8. Cornell Gowdy, the strong safety, number 29, there to make the tackle.
And once again, they go to number 40, and I can understand it because he's so talented. But I think that the reason why this guy is hurt so much is because he just doesn't have the frame, the body, the strength, Jay, to take the kind of pounding that he takes on every play.
Here come the Chargers, and they go back to their short yardage situation with just Early split wide to the right. Spencer set on the wing left. That's Redden right back of there, and Redden gets it and doesn't get the first down. They were looking for him. David Little, number 50, spelled that one out. Little out of Florida, 7th round draft pick back in '81. A top tackler, inside linebacker.
Well, David Little, number 50, has been the mainstay on this defense. There he is making the real good tackle on Barry Redden. 88 tackles coming into the ball game today. The brother of former All-Pro Larry Little, who used to play for the Miami Dolphins.
He took over for a fellow named Lambert. Big shoes to fill. 3rd and 2 at the 48. Malone has to get rid of it quickly. He completes it to Jamie Holland. I don't think he got the first down. Little, number 50, put the pressure on. That's why Malone had to hurry.
Sometimes when things don't go well, it's not always the quarterback. Now here, Jamie Holland, a young receiver, shouldn't jump for this ball. Watch this. See, there's no need right there to do that, because what happens is he takes himself away from the first down. He should have been able to catch that football, keep his feet on the ground, and make a first down. They're going to go for it, and I don't blame him, because, you know, this is the Leon Spinks Bowl. You ain't got nothing to lose.
4th and 1. We're inside the minute mark of this first quarter. Scoreless. Anderson and Spencer in the backfield. Spencer in motion, to give going to Redden.
He didn't make it.
That was not Anderson, but Redden.
Guess it was in there again.
Hardy Nickerson, number 54.
Boy, they like this player, Hardy Nickerson. Now, he's very active. He's very quick. He makes hits. And one thing about an inside linebacker is you want a player that makes hit, that'll hit, and the tackle will stop the runner. Look at this. See, that runner goes no further than where Nickerson puts his shoulder pads on his body.
Steelers take over. They have it at their own 47.
This is a great time to go deep. When you've had a big turnover like that, I would always want to go home run.
Lockett and Lips are the wide receivers for Brister. Brister throwing out for Williams, and right off his fingertips.
Should have caught that football. That was a good read by Bubby Brister, because the Steelers were thinking deep. They sent both Lips and Lockett deep, and the backside of the backfield short. That was the checkoff for Brister. He read the coverage properly, threw the ball to Williams. Williams should have caught the ball. He could have gained 5 or 6 yards easily.
Lips had more receiving yards, 166 last week in Houston, than he'd had all of last season. And it's Lips and Lockett set to the left side. 36 seconds left in this first period. The pitch comes back to Hodge. Hodge is across the 50, fights his way to the 47. Tackle made by Leonard Coleman. Also Joe Campbell in there.
If there's one player that has helped this offense come back for Pittsburgh, it's number 33, Merrill Hodge. Hodge eliminated the need to bring in a running specialist, a pass receiving specialist, a blocking specialist. Hodge is the kind of player that can do all of those things. He isn't spectacular, but he's the kind of back that you can rely on, and you can build a solid offense around him.
We come to the end of the first quarter. No score here in San Diego. You'll remember the Steelers' Aaron Jones went off earlier. Injury to his right knee. He will not play anymore today. 3rd down and 6. The Steelers at the 48-yard line of the Chargers as we start the second period. Penalty marker down, and Bubby Brister really had to hurry. Pressure was put on by Gary Plummer, number 50, coming from the outside linebacker slot. Trying to get it to Carter, I think, and as we mentioned, the penalty flag thrown. The first penalty of the day. Fred Silva, the referee.
Right tackle, illegal, motion, decline, fourth down.
Fourth down for the Steelers. Tunch Ilkin, the right tackle, moving on the play.
It's unfortunate that Tunch Ilkin gets called here for moving because they're rarely mentioned unless they commit a foul, but Ilkin, number 62, is the finest Steelers offensive lineman right now. I think he's one of the best tackles in the game, even though he's under publicized.
Newsome with the boot. Little James, the train. Lionel gets it to the 15-yard line. Dwight Stone down there to make the tackle. 38-yard punt. And the Chargers will take it just shy of their 15-yard line. In Newsome, the Steelers have the top punter in the National Football League for the 6th week. Take a look at the statistics for the first quarter of play. Minus 15 yards passing for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this first quarter. San Diego with Mark Malone, who led Pittsburgh to the playoffs in '84 and '85, doing the quarterbacking. Play action to the right side, and down he goes. 54, Hardy Nickerson would not be denied of making that tackle.
I think somebody blew a pattern here because Malone, after the play fake, was looking for someone to throw the football to, and there was nobody on the right side. I'm sure they wouldn't run a naked bootleg down around this. See, now watch the fake. Now he's looking for someone to throw the football to. There's just nothing going on down there, and Hardy Nickerson's too quick for Malone.
Second down, and let's call it 11, a loss of 1. Holland coming out to the left side. And up the middle, there he goes, Gary Anderson.
Well, Rod Woodson is going to
in a foot race, and coming to make the play was Darren Jordan, the rookie out of Northeastern. 36 yards on the run.
They went back to that play, Jay, because they had a lot of success with it in the first quarter. Outstanding block at the point of attack, number 66. Watch Rosado, number 66. Good block by number 61, Ken Dallafor. Redden once again comes inside, and this guy is quick and dangerous in the open field. But I'll tell you something, number 26, Rod Woodson, is out there, and he's probably going to catch everybody that breaks away. Almost everybody, at least.
Boy, Jordan at 6'1", 235. He can move,
He can run, yes.
Wow. First and 10 at midfield. Penalty marker goes down, and it may be, yes, it is too much time.
Number 16,
Sunday,
offense.
the Chargers lost to the Bengals 27-10 at Cincinnati. They had 7 penalties for 88 yards in the first half. And this penalty puts the ball back at the 45-yard line. Oh, what a day here.
Jay, you were asking me, why don't we live out
why
here?
doesn't everybody live? Well, of course, not everybody does live here. If you drive from here up to La Jolla, most people are there. I tell you.
Yeah.
Pretty country.
Yeah.
First and 15. Steelers for that win over Houston, trying to do another job here today, and that pass could have been caught by Quinn Early. Early went high into the air. Wayne Woodruff 49, David Little 50, and Nickerson 54 were all moving in on him.
This is a very difficult pass to catch because you're running at top speed one direction. The ball is thrown behind him. Watch, the ball's going to be thrown to the left of the screen. The ball's going to be thrown left of Early, who's running the other way. That's a very difficult pass to catch, although as a professional receiver, you should make that kind of catch.
Glad you said that. 12:54 left in the first half. Second down and 15 from the 45. Gary Anderson getting the call and not getting much. Anderson, who started this day with a 4.4 rushing average, led the team in 87 with 1,196 all-purpose yards. Tackle made by Greg Carr, number 91. Carr in there now at a linebacker spot.
Al Saunders has sought balance in the San Diego Chargers offense. They used to be, of course, Air Coryell and throw the football almost on every down, but when he took over, they wanted to establish an ability to run the football, knowing that you have to be able to run the football to control the game in the National Football League. And that's what he's seeking to do, gain more balance in this offense.
Malone out of the shotgun on 3rd and 13. Malone scrambling and throwing and getting it to Holland. Holland's down at the 20, the 15, and out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Delton Hall ran him out. A 45-yard hookup. Malone doing an excellent job of avoiding the pressure and getting that pass away.
The Chargers feel they had drafted the fastest two men in the draft in 87 and 88. Jamie Holland was the fastest player in the draft in 87, and Anthony Miller was the fastest player in the draft in 88. Now watch, coming right of your screen to the left. Malone gets away from trouble. Good catch here by Holland. Now watch Holland, number 86 from Ohio State. Just blinding speed. He makes this catch on the move, see, and now he's on the run, and he doesn't have to slow down to catch the football, and makes the big play for San Diego.
1st and goal to go from the 8-yard line. Penalty marker goes down. Too much time? Yep. Malone was trying to audible, and he didn't have enough time to do it.
Number 16.
See, that may be the problem with knowing that defense, having played in Pittsburgh so long. He knows the defenses that they get into down there, and what he was trying to do was take advantage of something that he saw, and maybe he outsmarted himself a little bit there.
Well, sometimes teams can work mind games against former players that are in key roles. It's 1st and goal to go now from the 13. Pitch back, fake reverse. That's Anderson holding on and getting down to the 6-yard line. Little, number 50, making the tackle.
If there's any player that Gary Anderson reminds me of, if I think back, it has to be the great Lenny Moore, because they have about the same body build. You take a look at Anderson here, as Lenny Moore did. It's slight frame, but watch the power as he comes through here. He's going to break a couple of tackles, and he does so many things out of the backfield. Runs, catches, sweeps, takes it up inside. I think he's just an all-around great talent.
He reminds you of Lenny Moore. He reminds me a little of Gale Sayers.
Ah, good company.
On 2nd and goal to go. Into the end zone for the touchdown. It's Darren Flutie. Flutie's 2nd touchdown of the season, and the Chargers are on top.
And did you hear the cannon? They haven't heard the cannon here much this year because they haven't been scoring any touchdowns. That's only the 2nd touchdown pass of the season for the San Diego Chargers. My, how times have changed.
The other one had been thrown to
Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller, that's right. The point after by Steve DeLine is up, and it is good. And the Chargers are on top 7-0 over the Steelers.
Take another look at it here. It's just a delay by Darren Flutie, the brother of Doug Flutie. Touchdown.
Well, that picture there is a flying picture furnished by Top Shot. On hand, our NBC Sports paraphernalia and regalia high in the sky above Jack Murphy Stadium. The line ready to kick off. Dwight Stone 20 and Rod Woodson, number 26, back to receive. They've had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year, have the Steelers. The first time that's ever happened in Chuck Noll's tenure. That's Woodson picking it up at the 10, finding room in the middle to the 20, breaks away to the 25. At the 25-yard line, Roy Bennett, number 23, making the tackle, and the
17. Washington completely out of it this year.
Elvis Patterson limping off for the Chargers. Brister is 1 for 4 passing. Got Hodge and Williams in the backfield. Brister with a lot of time. Now going to have to run out of there. Good coverage downfield. And down he goes at the 30-yard line. Cedric Figaro upending him, number 51. Mr. losing his helmet.
Well, there was a lot of time to throw the football, and I'm just not sure if this is what Brister should be doing or whether Noel wants him to do this. Now watch the protection. See, the protection is good. Outstanding protection. Now step up in the pocket. He steps up in the pocket. He can't find anybody, so he starts to run. Now, you have to get down here. Now watch him try to run outside. See, that goes a little bit beyond what I think quarterbacks should do. Take what you got and get down.
2nd down and 5. Gothard, the tight end, comes in motion. They give it to Williams. Williams to the 33-yard line, short of the first down. Stopped by Joe Phillips, number 75, and Mike Charles, 71.
The one thing about Brister, and that it has been his history since he has taken over the reins of the quarterbacking for the Steelers, is that he makes big plays. And even though he has some problems here and there, he's inexperienced. This is only his 10th or 11th game that he's ever started, so he's still a young, learning quarterback, but he does have the ability to suddenly hit you with the big play.
3rd down and 3 from the 33. Hodge is the single setback. That's Carter going in motion. Brister throws too high for Carter. Carter was there and would have had the first down as Leonard Coleman, 31, the corner, played soft, but the pass much too high.
That ball sailed on Bubby. Brister was backing up just a little bit as he let open out there in the sideline pattern.
Harry Newsom, his 4th year out of Wake Forest, 45.7 average, his 4th punt coming up. Lionel James downfield. A line drive spiral. James going back at the 16. James breaks out at the 30, 35, gets to the 41-yard line. 50-yard punt, 25-yard return. Tackle was made by with Reggie Rucker, Jay Randolph at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. The Chargers doing the job right now, leading it 7-0. And off to Anderson. Anderson to the 42-yard line, upended by Greg Carr, number 91. They have 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the first half. A 6-yard pass, Malone to Flutie. At the 11-14 mark of this second quarter has given them a 7-0 lead. 10-minute ticker, New Orleans with the lead up the coast over San Francisco.
So far, the Chargers' plan has been just to isolate Gary Anderson and get the football to him in as many ways as possible.
2nd down and 9. Malone throwing to Anderson. Slides across the 45 to the 46-yard line where David Little makes the tackle. Talking with Al Saunders yesterday, as you had alluded to earlier, Reggie, he says that Anderson could really be a great role player for him as he's coming off now. But the problem for them is they have to use him more than they want, as you indicated.
Yeah, that's a flattering sense, because what they want to do is they want to keep him around for a full season and let him handle the plays in which he gets into the open field and can make big plays for the Chargers.
3 wide receivers set to the right side for Malone. And Malone throws complete. And it's very close to the first down. Quinn Early making the catch. Dwayne Woodruff with the tackle. It looked like he got the first down. Quinn Early out of Iowa. This fella's a very talented artist. I've seen some of the work that he did when he was at the University of Iowa.
Let me paint this picture for you, Jay. Here's Quinn Early, number 87, right at the 50-yard line. Gets up, looks back into that sun, makes a good catch, tries to get away. But, you know, they have 3 really talented young wide receivers. They're like 4.3, 4.35, and 4.4 in speed. So, you know, they think big things are on the horizon for these 3 guys.
Well, for Early, he may get a chance to start a picture at that talent show we've got coming up on Super Bowl Sunday. That's going to be something very special. Going to have representatives from every team in the league doing a talent, and he might start a picture at the beginning, and we go back 2 or 3 times and take a look at it. Senior Skins is coming up. No, I won't be at the Senior Skins, but some very good players will, led by a man named Arnold Palmer. On first down, Malone, and it is complete. That's Jamie Holland. Another first down, very close to it. Yep, they picked up enough for the first down at the 38-yard line. Rod Woodson, number 26 there, along with Tim Johnson, who put pressure on, number 78. Here is the isolated view of Holland.
Jamie Holland once again. And right now, Mark Malone is doing the things that he does best. Now, he isn't playing outside of his abilities. He's
10 at the 38-yard line. And here comes Anderson. Down across the 35. Penalty marker thrown in late. Anthony Henton, number 96, made the tackle.
As long as Malone can get 4, 5, 6 yards from Anderson on the run on first down, he is going to be in control of this football game.
The Chargers want to prevent that 3rd and 7 situation. 3rd and 8.
26. Defense. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. 15 yards. First down.
Call against Rod Woodson. Woodson, a 94-day holdout. 16 passes defense coming in today. This is a fine athlete out of Purdue, but he costs his club big yardage here with a personal foul. Ball is down at the 19-yard line. First down for the Chargers. They're leading at 7-0. We have 6:15 to play in the first half. Quinn Early in motion to the far side. Malone with time, throwing wide open, and with the ball taking it down inside the 10 is Darren Flutie. Flutie, who caught the touchdown pass, 13-yard pickup. Malone to Flutie, tackled by Woodruff 49 and Henton 96. First down and goal to go coming up. Here it is, Reggie.
With all that great speed on the outside, Flutie is able then to just maneuver inside in the middle of the field, pick out the open spaces, and just settle down. Mark Malone, experienced as he is finding him and getting the football to him. And see, it's nothing fancy. They're just taking what the Steelers are giving them right now.
Early is wide to the right. Holland set to the left side. They put Anderson in motion here to the near side. Give it up the middle to Redden. Redden gets near the 5-yard line. David Little again in the middle. Number 50, the former All-American from Florida, doing a job.
There's a line of scrimmage, the offensive line, the 4 free agents, not very talented or heralded, but they're getting the job done today. David Little, number 50, right there in the middle of everything. Just stacking it up, doing his job, meeting that runner right in the hole.
Malone has 6 consecutive pass completions. Second down and goal. Give to Anderson, and he is at the goal line. David Little stopped him right at the line, just short. I thought he'd reached the plane, Reggie, but he didn't get it in there.
I have seen this guy do some incredible things once he got to the goal line. As a matter of fact, there's a promo that they run for the NFL where the halfback dives and does a somersault into the end zone. Watch that lurching and that leaping and that agileness that he has.
He actually got it to the line, but the ball was not on the ground. And when he is tackled, that's Carr, 91.
It was David Little that was holding him on for dear life. That's a touchdown there.
Touchdown for Mark Malone on the quarterback sneak. Malone scoring against his former teammates, and the cannon is fired for the second time this afternoon.
I think these people probably believe the cannon is broken because they haven't heard the cannon here that much, particularly in the first half twice. This team came into this ball game averaging 7.8 points per game per home contest. That's anemic. And, of course, they've already scored 2 touchdowns here against the Steelers.
Steve DeLine with the extra point out of the hold by Mojenko. It is good. 3:45 to play. We're in the first half. The Chargers lead 14-0. Malone has been making it happen for these Chargers, who have the lead early on.
You know, and I was telling you earlier that you can't tell me that Mark Malone isn't just ecstatic about this opportunity and would like to beat these Steelers more than anything in the world. When I was traded from New England to Cleveland, the first thing I wanted to do was play against the New England Patriots and do well.
And what happened when you did?
We played them and we won.
All right. The kickoff coming down. Woodson at the 15. 25, steps out of bounds up near the 30-yard line. Bennett, number 23, was there to make the play. Back to the attack will come the Steelers with Bubby Brister.
And it's the same old story for Pittsburgh, and this is what has happened to them for the most part. They get behind, and they have to abandon their running game. 9 plays, 59 yards, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Malone involved in both scores.
Lockett to the far side. Lips comes to the near side. Hodge and Slugger in the backfield. And the pass is complete to Lockett. Lockett breaking away all the way down to the 41-yard line. First down. Sam Seal, number 30 on the tackle. A 29-yard pickup.
And the other thing that you do in a game like this is you evaluate personnel. The Steelers have been looking at Charles Lockett over the past few weeks. He gets another start here. They're finding that this guy can play. Watch him here. Makes the catch. Tough catch. He's spinning around. Breaks a couple of tackles. And almost takes this thing the distance.
You see the time remaining. We're right at the 3-minute mark. A little delay. Hodge has a first down inside the 30-yard line. Good block by Dermot Eddie Dawson, the rookie out of Kentucky. Pickup of 12. Keith Browner, 57 on the tackle.
I think the Steelers just showed up to play football. I mean, the San Diego Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers both with 4-10 records, both having a lot of problems. There's no reason why the Steelers should start this game as flat as they did.
New Orleans by 3 up at San Francisco. Rams by 6. Here the Chargers lead 14-0. Brister, and it is complete at the 20-yard line. Charles Lockett. Lockett has made 2 fine catches in this drive. He caught 17 coming into today's game. Lockett out of Cal State Long Beach, a number 3 draft choice.
Once again, it's a quick slant. The quarterback takes 3 steps and fires this ball. You've got to be looking quick. Lockett gets his head, and he's looking at the football very early. That's why he's able to come up with the catch.
Sam Seal trying to grab that ball away from him, and he didn't. We've got a timeout as we have the 2-minute warning. 14-0. The Chargers lead the Steelers. Halftime. Frank DeFord will lay some heavy words on you about the world of sport. I'm Ahmad, Paul, and Gail, and we'll be updated on all of the activities in the National Football League on this Sunday 15. Chuck Noll looking out. His club down 14-0. Second down and 1. Should be an interesting call, an opportunity for Brister. Lips and Lockett both set to the left side.